What up, players? How's it going? It's R Doggy Dog here. Yeah, R Dizzle, Benters, whatever you want to call me. Knobhead, that's what a lot of people call me. Back again on this lovely, cold, wintry, late morning with another music review. Yeah. There's been an update, an uptake in the productivity on my side, which I'm sure you're all really pleased about. Now, the last two videos have been quite kind of different from each other, and this one is no exception. So, obviously we discussed the Black Queen, the synthwave electro-pop monsters in the last video, and before that, of course, the heavy metal legends Megadeth. Today we're going to be moving a little bit closer to home, or closer to my home, in England. That's Great Britain, or the UK to you guys around the world who listen to this. Surely you've got better things to do. So yeah, the band I'm going to be talking about today is a British band called Milk Teeth, which there's been a lot of kind of buzz about them in the kind of underground forums and whatever. And you know, they've played some really good support slots and built up a name for themselves over the last couple of years. But this is their debut album, Vile Child, and it came out a couple of weeks ago amongst a bunch of very heavy hitters and very strong releases, and it's to its great credit that it is actually really kind of going toe for toe critically, and also doing pretty well in terms of sales with all these kind of big hitters in the rock world. So Milk Teeth, they're a four-piece, I think they're now a three-piece because one of them left, four-piece band from, I want to say Brighton or Bristol, you don't care where they're from. And if you've not kind of heard them, their style is, they're kind of a punk band, I guess, would be the easiest, most simplistic way to describe them. But they've got influences from, I guess, 90s alternative rock in there as well. There's bits of hardcore, there's bits of kind of like even new wave and things in there. And I'd heard a few songs just prior to the release. A lot of the songs on this album, I think, had been drip-fed across Spotify and Deezer and things throughout that build up to the album's release, and I've really been into everything that's actually came on there, because every time they released something it was slightly different. And what you've actually got here on this album, Vile Child, I'll say the title again, is a really cohesive but deceptively diverse collection of songs. And when I say songs, I mean songs with a capital S. I mean, you know how to spell and punctuate, but songs with a capital S. The reason I say that is because just back to back throughout this 40-45 minute running time, these songs are just of a quality that you would not expect from a band on their first album. So there's so many highlights. I could literally just pick any song out of this album, and there's something interesting, there's something cool about it, there's something catchy about it. I mean, the first song, kind of Brickwork, great opener, gives you a real kind of overall encompassing feel for the album. So you've got like the two kind of vocalists that work, the hardcore vocalists, and the cool kind of attitude female vocals on there as well. And everything that they do well is actually in this song as well. So there's some cool, awesome kind of poppy hooks, and I mean poppy going back to like kind of Blondie, cool kind of new wave hooks, rather than poppy as in sanitised, airbrushed to within an inch of its life, empty shit. So pop elements there, but also there's a grit and there's a hardcore kind of feel to it as well. So there's screamy songs, there's singy songs, there's downer songs, there's kind of really psychedelic songs in some places as well. And this is a really good way to kick things off, really. And then really it just kills it all the way through, to be honest. So stuff like Burger Drop and Brain Food have just got so much attitude on them. They remind me a little bit of Garbage, kind of the more kind of rocky elements of Garbage, and also again kind of the more like heads down rocking Blondie songs as well in places. But there's just a real grit and dirt to it that you wouldn't necessarily get on those bands as well. This manages to simultaneously be really kind of tight and and just really kind of elegant in his songwriting, but there's a rawness and there's a grit to it, and there's an imperfection which makes it perfect. So fucking brain food, what a song. And then one of the highlights is Swear Jar, which is a much more stripped down song, at least at the start, with again some really kind of quirky alternative rock guitar tones, and I love the kind of the almost kind of bored, just cool vocals on the song as well, and throughout the album. But like the vocals on this one, they're so kind of like, it could have so easily been like the ballad you slot into the middle of a pop punk album, you know, the Paramore fucking love ballad. But no, this is something a little kind of darker, a little more cynical, and at the same time really kind of playful. And you know, the first kind of bit has got a real kind of, like I mentioned, psychedelic alternative rock feel to it, and then when the guitars kick in a more distorted way, it sounds like early Weezer. So that that kind of almost wall of power chords with a kind of a pop overtone to it, it's all there, and there's just like it's just so good, really. I mean, the highlights, other highlights I'll just pick out because, like I say, I'm not going to go through all the tracks because we'd be here all day just talking about how good every single one of them is. But Leona, the song Leona, actually sounds like a perfect circle in places. It sounds like the more... I hate to use The Cure again because I feel like I always talk about The Cure in these kind of reviews when it's outside of pure, straight-on fucking bullet belt metal. But it's a good touch point. So, I mean, The Cure certainly comes into it on this as well. You still got the screen vocals, and then stuff like Kabuki, where it's just pure fucking anger and heaviness. You know, you've got whole songs which, you know, would not get onto your little kind of Radio 1 Rock Show playlist because they're so fucking heavy and gritty. So you've really got a wide spread. There's so much to like about this album, no matter what kind of element of kind of rock you're into. I suppose if you're really into the kind of, you know, underground, brutal, nasty metal only, and you've got a fucking, you know, Creator t-shirt, and you have a bullet belt, and you won't listen to anything past 1986, then yeah, alright, you're probably not going to like it. But I think most people have a much broader kind of taste these days, and there's just so much to like about this. And the big songs, the more commercially friendly songs, and I'm only using that because I don't think they're created with a commercial capacity, but they've got a natural flair for hooks and songwriting. But the more commercially friendly songs could really kind of put this band over the top, and they're already getting some pretty good coverage. You know, I think Kerrang magazine gave them 5 stars, and you know, Kerrang is obviously, it's not the same magazine that it used to be, but it's a magazine very much in touch with younger kind of rock fans and the youth market. And if they're kind of pushing it, and I think they could do with getting beyond it a little bit more, then I really kind of see a lot of success for this band. Not that they care about my opinion, but what I mean to say is I really hope there's a lot of success for this band, because there's so many kind of half rock bands that are just really glorified indie bands, but no such thing here. This is kind of a really just confident, powerful, and just it's got bags of personality. This is just a great debut album, and there's not many better debut albums I can think of that I've heard by a rock band of any kind, really. And you know, this is just it's just really exciting that this is just like a, you know, a bunch of kids from the UK as well. And what I would say is, if this was an American band, I think people would be really raving about it. So, you know, let's get over this kind of like hurdle that British bands can't be kind of huge and massive, because I think we've proven that, you know, in the last few years with, you know, Bring Me the Horizon, etc., that that they really can translate. So I really hope they are a global force, but hopefully they keep the edge, because I love the production on this. I love the way this kind of sounds like all the best elements of the 90s. I love the flaws in the vocals. I love the you know, the kind of the missed notes and things like that, which are kind of flawed but perfect at the same time. So yeah, Milk Teeth, Vile Child, just check it out. It's just great songs, and and that's that's the highest compliment I can really kind of pay to the album, is that all I'm thinking about is great songs on this album. So check it out, Milk Teeth. I think they're going to be huge. I hope they're going to be huge, because we've seen success with Marmozets and Rolo Tomasi, among other bands of this kind of similar young kind of punk but with different elements veins. So here's hoping that 2016 is the year of Milk Teeth. So yeah, that's my review of Milk Teeth. Check the album out, Vile Child, and in the meantime I'll be back very soon with something probably completely different, but still within the rock realm. So I'm sure you're super excited about that. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. And while you're at it, actually, have a little look at the top of the Premier League table right now. There's a little club that's doing all right up there. Anyway, I'll see you later.